guys. So obviously I'm going to try and do tons of videos at one time. And this video is basically, again, another recommendation from Lisa Eldris. Not that she actually recommended it, but it was her favorites brushes video, which if I remember, I will link down below. And her favorite eye brushes are Paula Dorf brushes. Now, for me, it's not like I'm super familiar with Paula Dorf. And, you know, you can order them online and such. There's really not that many places in Canada anyways that I know carries them. But I decided to get sort of, I think it's, well, I don't know if it's all her eye brushes, but yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And why did that sounded really well. 5 of them. Anyways, right. So here they are. Right there. Do I love them? Yes, I do. I really do, people. Do I think they are like out of this world? Not so much, except for 2 brushes where I just go, I don't know why these brushes are so different, but they really are. The first brush I'm going to talk about is the eye blender. Now that's just a big honking brush. So obviously to do just big sweeps of color, I tend to use it for fallout. When I just have a little bit of fallout, I kind of flick it away there. I know a lot of people use fan brushes and such, but I kind of have relegated this one to that. I think throughout the years, I've only had them for like, you know, maybe a month or 2. You know, throughout the years when you have brushes for a really long time, you just find multiple uses for them. So I'm sure it's going to turn into something else. I mean, I'm sure you could do a little bit of contour there if you'd want to. They're very soft. Very soft. So there's the first one. The second one is the sheer Crease. Now you see Lisa using this a lot. I've seen her use it for obviously for blending, for eyeshadow, but I also have seen her use this for concealers and just sort of spot concealing and sort of brushing it that way. Do I love this brush? Yeah, I actually do. I use it almost every day for just just clean and blending out. So that's definitely, again, very soft. It's got sort of a rounded head, and it's so funny because I'll use, like today for instance, I've used the Laura Mercier sort of this kind of shape, but much more pointed, her sort of pony. So I've used sort of 2 fluffy, not sort of a lay down flat. I've done 2 fluffies, but this one, because it's rounded, it really sort of disperses it well. So that's definitely a nice one. This is the eye contour brush. Now I have to say, honestly, I really haven't had a chance to really put this one into practice, so I'm not quite sure, but obviously right in there. I can't really speak much about it because I really am not familiar with this brush. And I did notice that I'd heard that she had sort of revamped her brush line in the last maybe year or so. And I can sort of tell the difference. I think this is a newer version and these are sort of older versions. And they do feel a tiny bit different. Now the 2 brushes that I am really digging, and I don't know why. The first one is this Smudge brush. So completely nondescript, obviously. It looks like any old smudge brush. When I first used it, I really kicked myself in the butt kiss that I didn't get more. 5 of them. You know, I would have gotten 10 of them. And I went out and just ordered another one online because I just loved it that much. I don't know what it is about it. Well, I kind of do. It's very stiff. Soft and stiff. I've gotten 2 different ones. One is much stiffer, so I think it's an older version, and then this one is a little bit softer. But it's the way that brush, the hairs are formed in this, where it's not the softest brush. I don't use this brush for under the eye. That area is a little bit too sensitive for me, and I can see a lot of people complaining about it. But when you want to smudge out liner, your top liner, I've never come across a brush like that. A lot of the times when I'm smudging, sometimes if it's a waterproof or a really waxy formulation, it streaks a tiny bit, like you're taking off some of that eyeliner as you're smudging it, and especially right at the lash line, you really don't want to be taking off that eyeliner because you're taking it off in the place where it really should be sort of deposited the most. And I have Laura Mercier smudge brush. Smashbox smudge brushes, Beauté. I mean, I've got quite a few from different lines and different brands. And I think they're all really great for under the eye smudging. But the top, you know, it just, I didn't really think much of it because they all sort of did the same thing. This one brush does it in a completely different way. It keeps all of that eyeliner there and it just blends it. It blends it, but it doesn't take anything away. And when I'm talking blending, like no effort, none at all. I just have to run it across that waxy eyeliner if it happens to be a waterproof one, which I tend to use. If I just smudge it a little bit, it's all the work is done for me. I really don't have to do that much. So the most nondescript brush is the one that I really honestly can't live without. This is freaking amazing. The other brush is called the Smokie Lid. And as you can see, I think it's because of all of that support around that brush. It's very firm and yet it's very, very soft. You know, the bristles are a little bit harder in these little smudge ones. If you have the older ones, the newer ones, I can't really say as much, but that brush for crease work and, you know, sort of all around, it's just the density of that brush and how, you know, most of them aren't really like that. They just sort of look like that, but just rounded. Whereas this, as you can see, it really does have a different shape with the ferrule, and then the way that the hairs are sticking out from the ferrule are a little bit different. And she's obviously done it so that it can be a lot more sort of precise. There's not a lot of super bend, so where you're putting that color is incredibly precise. If you wanted to do, say, very, very bare lid and just do sort of like a crease cut or cut crease or whatever and then blend that out, it's just amazing. For contouring, if you're going to use it with, like, you know, I've used this with the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder. Amazing. It just looks like a natural shadow. I love this brush. So, and it's a Smokie Lid. So I would say out of all of them, the two standouts are the Smokie Lid and the Smudge. I really can't compare them. I probably have, oh gosh, 20, 40, 60, 80, maybe 100 brushes. Not that I need them, but mind you, I've been collecting them for over 20 years. So they stand out. I really don't have anything like that. They may look like that. You think they perform the same, but they don't. These other three, oh, I can't really speak about this one, but these ones, you know, I like them. I use them all the time, but I have other brushes that could do the similar work. The softness, all of that, I guess it's just personal preference. And again, I do use them every day. It's just, I don't know if you would rave about it, if you need it. If you don't have these brushes, obviously, like this type of brush, a blending brush, and then just sort of like a big fluffy brush. They're definitely nice, but if you've already got brushes like that, it would just be a repeat. You really don't need them, but these two, honestly, yummy, delicious, fantastic. Loving them. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments, and I will always try and get back to you. It may take me a little bit of time now, and you know, I can't get back to you as soon as I used to be able to. In the next coming years, actually, I'm just going to be way too busy. So I'm just going to try and upload when I can and get back to you when I can. But I do try and get back to you. I would say my going rate is at least 90% of the comments, maybe even 95%. I do miss some here and there, but I do try and get back to you. So anyways, I will see you soon, and I'm going to try and do a couple more videos while I have the chance. So talk to you later, guys.